it's Brandy with Brandy's Book World, and I'm back with my March random book haul. So I shop for books all the time. I always have access to them. It's one of the perks of living in a huge city like Houston. And let me show you what I got. Alright, so the first book I actually got is for work. It's called The Silo Effect, and it was $3 at Half Price Books. And basically silos are a part of it where the different pieces of the organization don't necessarily communicate with each other. So in the district that I teach in, we're really working on breaking down silos so that all pieces of the departments and the district come together and work together. So this is part of our kind of vision, is to break down silos in the organization. And so when I saw this, I thought, you know what, I'm going to learn a little bit more about this. Clearly it's a big topic right now, so I just, again, kind of aligning to the vision of the district, and so I picked this up. The next 3 books I got at Half Price Books on another different trip. Again, sometimes I just go there to kind of relax and get away. And so I always go to the clearance section. So I got the Miniaturist for $2. And this is just, it happens back in the 17th century. 18-year-old Nella Ortman arrives in Amsterdam to begin a new life as the wife of illustrious merchant trader Johannes Brandt, but her splendid new home is not welcoming. Johannes is kind yet distant and leaves Nella alone with his sister, the fearsome Martin. So it just talks about her gifts. I'm always kind of up for a good female protagonist, especially in history when women were kind of marginalized or their talents weren't necessarily considered equal to men, or they had to work a lot harder. So I'm excited to get into this. I've seen a lot of feedback on it, and so I'm excited. And it says, New York Times bestseller. So I do end up buying a lot of bestsellers just because I trust, the majority's feedback on it. So they also had If I Stay by Gail Forman. I checked this out at the library like at least 3 or 4 times, and so I really want to read it. And again, it's just another YA novel. Mia had everything, then in an instant almost all of it's taken from her, and she's caught between life and death. So it's basically about her kind of deciding if she's living or dying. And anyway, like I said, I've seen it a lot, and I think it's coming out as a movie, or it has, or I don't know, I'm getting a bunch of these mixed up because I can't keep straight with the movies these days. But anyway, I'm interested in reading that, so it's going to go on my, not high on my TBR, but definitely one that I need to get through. Alright, so the reason I went to Half Price Books in the first place is because they came out with one of their 50% off coupons, and so I found Dark Matter that was already 50% off for $13.49, and then I got 50% off of that, so I paid $7.25. I've heard so many good things about Dark Matter and the suspense behind it, and just that it was a good kind of thriller. It has some really good quotes on the back from other authors that I like Harlan Coben, Lee Child, Justin Cronin, and Tess Gerritsen. So I'm really excited. It says, "Are you happy with your life?" Those are the last words Jason Dessen hears before the masked abductor knocks him unconscious, but before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney, surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. So a science fiction thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. So I've also checked this out from the library like at least 5 times, and so I'm excited to finally have my own copy to get to. Alright, the next couple of books that I got at a Christian bookstore called Mardel. So Mardel has both education supplies I go for a teacher, and that also has Christian books. And so this one time I was going for some illustrated faith Bible journaling and kind of decor and stuff like that. And so I picked up a couple of books. They have an amazing bargain section with like $5 books, $3 books, and $1 books. So the first book I got was in the dollar section. It's called Ghost Boy. And this is about a little boy who comes home and says he doesn't feel good, and then ends up like months later being what everyone thinks is a quadriplegic with no way to communicate or anything like that. a mute quadriplegic. But what's really happening is none of that. And so this book is kind of put in his perspective of what he's going through. And it ends up, it was a prolonged illness and a misdiagnosis. And so this is about a real boy, Martin Pistorius, born in Johannesburg, South Africa in 1975. It really happened when he was age 12. In 2001, he learned to communicate via computer, make friends, and it changed his life. And then in 2008, he met the love of his life and immigrated to the UK, where he's married and started his own business. And so, anyway, I'm really excited to read this because I definitely connect to that. Like, I'm so much always in my head, and so sometimes it can be hard to kind of, like, communicate with other people kind of your intentions and what you're saying. And so I really am interested in these kind of books that really talk about what it's like not to be able to communicate with other people or kind of get your across a point. And so I'm really excited about this. I also got my own copies of a couple of books that have been recommended to me, and kind of my they were really at church is where I heard about them. The first book is just called Boundaries, and it's about setting healthy boundaries with people in your life. It's nonfiction. I want to say it's self-helpish. I think I got this for $3 though. It's like $8 on Amazon, but I was really excited. And it just talks about kind of Christian life. Are you in control of your life? Are you making and setting boundaries that kind of align with your visions and your goals in your life? So I really like it, and it just, can I set limits and still be a loving person? How do I answer someone who wants my time, love, energy, or money? And why do I feel guilty when I consider setting boundaries? So this is definitely something that helps me in my adult life, because I didn't necessarily set really good boundaries when I was a teenager and in my early 20s. And so this really helps me because I'm so inclined to volunteer for everything, to help everyone with everything, and then my kind of goals and my things get pushed to the side. Set boundaries with kind of my money as well. I have a lot of friends who want to do lots of big trips and things like that, and so I'm so inclined to say yes, but I really have to look at what, you know, I want for my life. And on top of that, I also got the Boundaries in Dating, which again, not many people on BookTube talk about dating. Like, they just talk about their books. But these are amazing books, and this is the workbook, and it just kind of helps you think through things that you want. So I am single, and it's really tricky. Like, dating in my 30s was totally different from dating in my 20s, and I have a lot more kind of self-respect, and I'm, you know, obviously very determined and goal-driven in my career, so I have to make sure that when I'm dating, I'm not, like, messing up those goals. And there's so many times when we meet someone that we really like that we're so inclined to just kind of drop what we're doing and like head first in that relationship. So this one just really, the book kind of helps you through what you want to say. The next book haul that I have for you, I got at Barnes & Noble. I actually went to return some books from a book festival, books I didn't get signed and stuff like that. And so I ended up going by the bargain bin section at Barnes & Noble, and I got Leadership Secrets from the Bible. So again, if you don't know, leadership is like one of my professional biggest aspirations and enjoyments, and so I am fortunate enough to be on leadership, a curriculum leader in my district, and then going forward into the administrative route. And so leadership, just as a person in church and my family and professionally, is just really important to me. So I really liked how this kind of aligns. It takes biblical stories and principles and puts them into perspective for leadership roles and ways that we can kind of do management, and just ways that we can apply scripture into kind of our contemporary leadership pieces. And then I also got, they had an illustrated Walden edition where they have kind of found paintings and other pieces to go into the book. So they even put some photographs of like this is the reconstruction of the home that Walden would have been in, or the cabin. And so there's just all kinds of pieces that they put in here. It just looked really interesting for $10. Walden is definitely one of those pieces that I want to read, and Um, if I could pull a Walden, like I would, and I may one day, maybe not, you know, a year, but maybe a summer or something like that. Like, this just totally intrigues me, and I'm like fairly certain I could do it and not drive myself crazy. So anyway, super excited about that. My next set I got from our library sale. Like, I go to the county library, but it's at a university, and so right when you walk in, there's a bookshop of donated books. So there I got Ruby by Cynthia Bond, which is a story of an African-American woman in the 1950s, where she is just kind of going through the struggles and, I want to say persecution, if that's the right word, of just, it's a town that is seething hatred and it's desperate to destroy her, as a piece of the blurb. And so this is an Oprah book club, so I know it's going to be really great, but also really moving and just really touches your spirit. And so I liked it. Had the original receipt in here from Katie Budget Books for $12, and I got it for 50 cents. And it's in like perfect condition, so I'm excited to read this. I actually just got off a couple of really tough, like, gut-wrenching stories, and so I may not get to this very soon, but I think it'd be perfect for like a diversity read or something like that. So I'm excited to read this soon. I also picked up a 50-cent copy of Beautiful Ruins, mostly because of the cover. I'm not gonna lie. It also reminded me of the book Malice that I think, is it Books and Lala had on her channel, or was doing a readathon or a group read, or anyway, one of the booktubers was reading, I think it's called just Malice, but it has kind of the same seascape or page, so when I saw it I thought, oh yeah, that's it. But it said 100 notable books in the New York Times book review, and so I just figured it was probably a good tale. It's more of a mystery. Takes place in Italy, which I always think would be a fun summer read, and it just had all these really great awards. The best novel of the year, notable book of the year by the New York Times, one of the best books of the year, and it has from Goodreads to Publishers Weekly, San Francisco, Miami, Seattle, Washington Post, Kansas City, St. Louis. So I figured hopefully I can get to it in a mystery month. Then I also got the Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. Somebody was telling me this was kind of controversial, and so I haven't actually read the news, but I do try to kind of look at the news behind a book. But this was also in Oprah's book club, so I just always trust that so much. Again, I haven't really heard any bad news about it or controversial. I remember a couple of books, you know, that had come out that was told as a nonfiction and, you know, wasn't true, but I haven't heard that. But anyway, I love spiritual books and things like that, so if it doesn't necessarily align to mine, then I can always kind of use some of the pieces, you know. But anyway, I'll get to it eventually. And then I also got, I love Gail Gibbons nonfiction books for kids, so if you have kids, I definitely suggest Gail Gibbons. I have this book in a set, like I used to make like theme book baskets for my students to take home, and so I had an Apple's book basket. So I don't think I have like a copy from my library, and this was like a brand new copy, and it was $1, so it's coming with me. But yeah, I love her stuff. I definitely recommend Gail Gibbons if you've got kiddos. Another half-price book, a random trip. I found the A to Z of You and Me. I have been looking at this book at Target for months, if not years, and it sounds really good, and it's just, it's about a guy in hospice, and his nurse kind of suggested this A to Z game, and so it literally has A to Z. Goes from A to Z are the chapters. And so I don't know, I always love kind of those books reflecting on life and other people's life lessons, so I thought this would be really good. And then the other, I kind of did a random spur of the moment Amazon order. I can't remember what I was buying. there was another book here or something. Maybe it's 13 Reasons Why. It might have been that. Anyway, I went ahead and got Big Magic. It was on sale for like $6 in the paperback edition, and this is just, she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, and it just kind of goes through some advice, creative living beyond fear. And so I just love those kind of books that just kind of pep you up, get you out of your head and get you out of fear, and just go for it. Just do it. Just press send on your dreams. And so I really like that. So I'm excited to read this. And then the last book I got, because this was on sale too, it was like $11 on Amazon, was Gemina, the second book in the Illuminae series. So I got Illuminae for Christmas, and I saw Gemina getting cheaper because they just released, I think, the title for the third book. Anyway, I've just heard amazing things about all the different writing pieces that they have in here and the really unique way that they tell the story. And so I'm thinking I'll probably read Illuminae and Gemina back to back before reading the third book. I'm thinking it might be a summer read. I mean, summer's practically here, so. And then I found out my nephews and my niece are coming this summer, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have like 400 books on my TBR. I'm not sure I'm gonna get to them all, but definitely looking forward to reading this series. So that's it for me and my March random book haul. I will be filming my March wrap up pretty soon. I know we're already into April, but I want to make sure that I actually post reviews on this page. So, and one last piece, if you have any links, I really want to fill this wall up right here with like readers art. I thought about the, the Stars Hollow, what is it, kind of the art piece with all the Roy Gilmore challenge, but I don't know, I kind of want like different pieces of my favorite book. I don't know, so if you guys have any suggestions of really cool art, I think I already know one piece I want, but that's gonna have to be like my birthday present to myself. But yeah, just comment below and let me know if you've read any of these books and really want to recommend them, which ones to move up to the top, which ones maybe to move down below because you didn't enjoy them. Let me know what you're reading on Goodreads, here, or Instagram at Brandy's Book World, and make sure you subscribe so we can buddy read, talk about more books, and hear more of the books that I've been massively buying. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Easter, happy spring, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.